After Catelyn's brutal murder at the Red Wedding, Littlefinger is never shown grieving or attempting to seek direct vengeance for her, suggesting her actual person was secondary to his goals. Additionally, his subsequent focus on Sansa Stark, who physically resembles her mother, is often cited as evidence that he wanted to possess a younger version of the woman he couldn't have, treating Sansa as a replacement rather than as an individual whom he loved. In short, Catelyn Tully was never just the woman Petyr Baelish loved. She was the mirror through which he defined his own worth and power. Her rejection did not destroy his love. It metastasized it into obsession, resentment, and ambition. She became the ghost he chased his entire life, and through her, he learned to mistake possession for affection, conquest for connection, and manipulation for intimacy. That delusion became the emotional foundation for all of his future evils. Additionally, when speaking on Littlefinger's decision to give Sansa over to the Boltons, where she was beaten, assaulted, and tortured by Ramsay for weeks on end, George R.R. Martin had this to say in James Hibbert's book, Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon, Game of Thrones, and the official untold story of the epic series. My Littlefinger would have never turned Sansa over to Ramsay. Never. He's obsessed with her. Half the time he thinks she's the daughter he never had, that he wishes he had if he'd married Catelyn. And half the time he thinks she is Catelyn, and he wants her for himself. He's not going to give her to somebody who would do bad things to her. That's going to be very different in the books. Now, after the fight with Brandon, Petyr was allowed to recover at Riverrun for a fortnight, during which time Lysa, the woman who truly loved him, helped care for him. On the other hand, Catelyn refused to see him, and Petyr did not want to see Edmure, who had served as Brandon's squire during the duel, that additional source of resentment I mentioned earlier, which is further evidence of his resentment towards him. However, during this recovery process, he would have sex with Lysa again, later claiming to have taken the maidenhood of both Tully sisters due to his belief that his first encounter with Lysa had actually been with Catelyn. Not long after, Lysa and Catelyn would be married off by their father to Jon Arryn and Ned Stark respectively in a double wedding at Riverrun during Robert's Rebellion, securing an alliance between the Riverlands, the North, and the Vale. Catelyn moved to Winterfell after marrying Ned to live a happier life and to move past her depressive state following Brandon's death. Littlefinger would also leave Riverrun, though he did so under much worse circumstances.